Today is a great day to start your own podcast. Whether you're looking for a new marketing channel, have a message you want to share with the world, or think it would be fun to have your own talk show, podcasting is an easy, inexpensive, and fun way to expand your reach online. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listen in all major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your recording. Podcasting isn't hard when you have the right partners, and the team at Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. Join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. Let's create something great together.
Your head's so shiny today.
It is.
Oh, it is extra shiny. Dang, bro.
Dude. What did Beyonce say? I woke up like this.
Yes.
And if anybody wants to know what Scooby has today on this episode, it's a cup of something, and I'm eating it. But you have to come and watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1.
You are now about to enter the hottest podcast on the planet.
It's your boy DJ Superman.
It's your girl So.
Peace, it's ya.
What's up? It's your boy Scooby.
Now get ready. You just entered the Tough Talk podcast with the Tough Talk crew.
Hey everybody, how you doing? We are back for our 8th episode before the holiday break. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into this thing real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce So in the building.
I caught it.
What's up?
Yeah, y'all, what's going on?
Yay. We also have Ya in the building. What's up, Ya?
Peace.
That's what I'm talking about. Next up, we have Scooby in the building.
Yo, what's good, everybody?
Hey,
We made it to episode 8. 8 of them.
right?
8 of them.
And of course, DJ Superman, how you doing? I'm here. We in this thing. But real quick, this little curveball. So can each of y'all tell our audience one thing that y'all haven't mentioned about yourself on this show as of just yet? Just one little something.
I don't think I ever told y'all that I can actually play the drums. I can read music. And I did in high school learn how to play the baritone. And I wanted to be a band director.
Hey.
I believe that.
Hey.
That's very believable.
Yep, I wanted to be a high school band director, but you know, life does things differently, and here we are now. But I am still truly in love with bands. Like I listen to North Carolina A&T play "Meeting in My Bedroom" by Silk. They played in the bedroom. It still gives me chills. It's ridiculous. It sounds so
And it makes sense because, you know, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of DJs have some type of either like former music training in their life or some other element of hip hop in their life. So that makes total sense.
Yep.
That's lit. So I guess I partner off of you. I'm a band geek as well.
Ooh.
Play clarinet.
High fives.
Yes. My senior year, I took band all day. So during that time,
Yo, I wish I could have did that.
I was done with all my classes. So at that time, I took band. So I learned the oboe, the flute, and the trombone.
Wow.
Just to have something to do. I still love the band. I love the band. Not love the band. L-U-H.
Love the band.
I love the band. The band that was in Drumline, the Quad, Beyonce's Homecoming. Those are my brothers and sisters. My band director is the executive producer of all of that stuff.
That's
shout out to the great Southwest DeKalb High School in Decatur, Georgia. That's where I attended. That's where Big Javi attended. Big Javi is a musician as well. He plays percussion. Went to the same program. Those are even our uniforms in Drumline. So
that's fire.
That's crazy.
Yes. So you loving the band, talking about NCAT. My fave is TSU because that's where I was going to attend full ride. I got pregnant and I opted out because I wanted to be a mom. Second choice was FAMU.
Yeah.
So I love the band. I'm with you. Like I listen to classical. We played level 6 classical college music. Those of you who don't understand that, it's really hard music.
Like really hard.
And I do feel like that's why my son came out as a musician. We literally played this piece called Tritico, and it was nothing but a percussion piece, very intense. And our band director literally cussed us out and was like, just F it. You guys aren't going to get it. Da-da-da-da. But we got it. You know what I'm saying? On the stage, I'll never forget. We played that last note. It's my senior year. Played the last note, and I just remember him holding it. He was like, hell yeah. I just remember that rush still going through my body. Like, we got it. So that, I think that's what drives me. Same thing with the music. I think that's what drives Javi. Well, I know that's what drives Javi. Like I said, he came out playing drums before he could walk. So yeah.
When I tell you that feeling, when you hit that, especially when you're performing and you can't expose it's just like you stop and you're at attention, you can't move, and everybody's like, the crowd's roaring because you hit everything perfect. Your band director's on the sideline like this.
Yeah, let me tell y'all, that movie Drumline was us all day. We practiced from 8 to 8 in the summers. We practiced from 9 to 9, 8 to 8. Of course, they broke it up. We took breaks, went inside, ate, but it was intense. We shook the tree on Thursdays if you didn't know your music. And I mean, like, if you ain't know 2 measures, get off my field, go try it again next week. You could be in the stands. You could not touch his field. So that's where I get it from. Like, you know, we had this creed and it starts off working hard is most essential. And it goes on, but every piece, every word in that creed, I swear I live by it. Like we said it with integrity, we meant it. We still say it to this day. I did a funeral for one of our fallen members and I had to speak and I closed it out with the creed. And I mean, everybody was like, yes, sir. And I was like, just our creed. They thought I literally was up there preaching. I was like, okay, yeah. Praise the Lord. Thanks.
Yeah, see, mine is on the opposite side of the spectrum. I was in a corps style band. So that's what I grew up in. So it's all military precision. Like the guy explained in Drumline, it's like everything is to the T. You're not moving. You're not doing this. You're like, oh, man. But it was fun. You still learn the same values. And it's still, because see, a lot of us didn't get the show band. We liked it, but we didn't really get to see it. And one year, we went to a competition down in Columbia, South Carolina, at Columbia High School. And there are some show bands down there in the lower part of the state. And they were there. And they did fifth quarter and everything. It was just so lit. We had a blast. It was crazy. Because at the same time, we're competing against all of them too. Because they're in competition with us too. But the big difference between us and theirs, we didn't have to learn new show music every week. We had a set show for the season.
Lucky
that was
man.
it. But the thing was, we had so many moves and formations and breaks but you remember ours had to be like on point. Y'all were moving more, so it was on point.
Had to be on point.
You had to be on point, but you had we were stopping
to get them lines and diagonals, and we had to be on point.
But y'all had to learn. It's harder because y'all had to learn show every week. Every week. That I would. Oh.
Hey man, we could take y'all for days talking about band. Oh my god.
Man, I could go. I got stories. Stories. I was
one word of advice I'll give a parent though. If you have a parent that's tuned in, if we have any parents and your kid is invested into band or music or really anything, I encourage you to support them to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't know what gift your child truly has and how far it could take them. One of the things that I regret, my mom didn't get into the band. She hated the band. She wouldn't come to any of my events and she said it was just a waste of time, but it really isn't. Like so many of my friends are professional musicians for Stevie Wonder, you know, BB King, rest in peace. shoot, Beyonce, Jill Scott, just so many people I can name that I personally know them. You know what I'm saying? And it was all from our foundation at Southwest DeKalb.
Yep.
And you know what I'm saying? And even my band director to leave the school system and run as now the superintendent of the music department of the county, and to co-exec all these shows that I named, the Quad, Drumline 1 and 2, like that was all him. Beyonce Coachella, Homecoming, that's my band directors playing on Homecoming, the soundtrack. And then on Coachella, like I said, those are my brothers and sisters from the band. And my band director was co-exec of that whole part of that show where it featured the band. He put all that together. And so we did the 96 opening Olympics, Nice, France. I mean, I can go on, Macy's Parade. All of that grounded us. You know what I'm saying? So believe in your kids, believe in their dream, and support it. No matter how lame it may seem to you. If you can't get into it, that's fine. But follow it for them. You just never know what opportunities it can take them. So,
Exactly.
All right, guess we're gonna pass to y'all.
No, that's so lit because my mother was in band when she was younger. So I love to hear that everybody else basically is on the same wavelength, to being somehow connected to the music. But I would say probably, do y'all know I do poetry? I write scripts. I did drama in school, and we specialized in improv. So we would have a couple different words and we would have to use those words in our improv. And we started redoing a show one year because of the feedback just from the first sitting of students that came and watched us perform. And my teacher was always supposed to record it. She never recorded it. But I still remember how powerful I felt to just create myself without limitations. Like, she definitely let us be free, speak freely, be creative and funny, and a little bit inappropriate if necessary. But to me, it was an entryway, I feel like, to who I wanted to show I could be. Which is so many different versions of myself. So I'm writing a script right now for something I'm gonna participate in myself, which I'm really excited to unveil.
Okay.
But I think that's probably the simplest thing I can think of that nobody else knows here.
Now, when you need actors for that, I know the Greenville community, as far as production, acting, and all that, is like really, really booming right now. So I can put you with the right people to get the right people you need for that project also. So
lit.
Yeah.
Super, super lit.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, my turn. I think the one I will mention on this one, since we are very themed around this, is that from the 5th grade all the way through high school, I played the violin.
Ooh.
Yep. So let's see. I want to say high school is where I was like in that, because we had first violin and second violin. I always wanted to be in first violin because we always had like the cool stuff to play in first violin. And in high school, I can't remember what grades, but that was the area where we were like really, really fighting for first chair. So when challenge day came around, we was like, all right, I got you. And we, get our pieces and we work on them and everything. And we have our director up there and we play our piece and everything. And I was holding the first chair for a hot minute. I don't remember falling back too much, but point of the end of the story is I was decent. I wasn't the best. I wasn't like chamber orchestra or nothing like that. But I mean, I was all right. I could play my music. You know what I'm saying? I just wish I kept it going after high school because like you saying, so like there's like so many things you can expound on after that. With music, it's just like I could have been doing anything from weddings to concerts with some artist or something. You know what I mean? Like it's endless. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Those challenge days, boy.
Yeah. And the pressure, cause you just like, all right, I'm about to get them this time, you know.
I just hate the ones where everything seems good because it's not a challenge day. So you in there, you in your chair. I got my chair.
Yeah.
Then that joke could be like cut off and be like play.
Yes.
Play.
Right.
We ain't talk about this. But
I didn't have to deal with that.
really, well, I'm gonna tell y'all.
I only had the only problem I had was we had playing quizzes instead, so we had to play our music, and so just like Mr. Miles, in the movie, I didn't like reading music. All of my show music, it was written, but 9 times out of 10, I played maybe the first 6 measures. The rest of it was all me. Like I had it. No, this is a true story. I kid you not. So this was my sophomore year. It was my junior year. And the guy that my band director got to write the drum piece, the percussion piece, it came in. He taught it to us, and then he came to our first competition, and he was like, "Yo, you sounded amazing out there." Blah blah blah. I didn't realize the piece sounded that good. I was like, "Yeah." Knowing I played like maybe 32 measures out of the entire show that he wrote.
Oh man. That boy good.
Yeah, I
organic.
my mom used to say, "How do you have a B in band and you love band so much?" Because I failed my playing quizzes on Friday because I don't know my music. What do you mean you don't know your music? I really don't. Like, I know the first 16 measures and that's about it.
Right.
The rest of it's all me. It's like, yeah, DJ, you got a D on that one. Oh, great.
When you tune in, though, it's a lot easier to just go with the flow and create your own twist to anything.
It is. It really is. But
I just know I couldn't dance like that. And well, at least I felt like I couldn't. And then my senior year, I was section leader, and I just never forget Battle of the Bands. He was like, "I need all the section leaders come up front on the 50." I was like, "Okay." Dance routine from the top. I'm like, so you gotta give it your all, like, cause you get your spot. Oh God, that's when I found out I actually could dance. Cause it was like, I was like, okay. I swear to God, I used to be so like dance because we were 375 strong. So as long as I was one in the number, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I'd be like, they can't tell I got my uniform. That joker called me out in the field. I'm like, me? You want me from the top? He was like, yeah. And we dance so nasty. Oh my God. I did some nasty stuff when I look back.
Oh man. Well,
Self-expression.
Huh?
That's
like I said, before we get
self-expression.
Like I said, before we get too far ahead, any quick highlights before go right into the show topic from last week? Anything?
Not really for me. It's been a chill week.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say what we were talking about earlier, Sue.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that too. Yeah. All right, so so I got this one, the tie one, right? And what was confusing me was because on the back it say mineral salt, but it says potassium alum. So is that still in the natural category, or is that still in the natural, but I don't want to use it because of the alum part? Because I'm confused.
So what's super crazy is that there's another tie stone that's completely Himalayan salt. So it's crystallized Himalayan salt formed as a stone. And that one has absolutely nothing else in it because it's natural Himalayan salt. Whereas this one in particular, it looks similar. And so, of course, grabbing it as a replacement, you wouldn't even realize until you read it. And of course, on the bottom, still say aluminum free, paraben free, a whole bunch of other things free, sulfate free, all of this. But if you pay attention, alum it's a compound. It's an astringent compound, meaning it contracts your skin cells and and other bodily tissues and stuff like that. But it contains an aluminum potassium compound. So that's how they get around it by saying alum and not aluminum, which is very misleading because anybody that's not going to read up on it is going to assume, like it says on the front of the bottle and not the back in the ingredients, that this is not aluminum, but it is aluminum. It's just not aluminum by itself. So it's misleading because people use certain, crystal stones to get away from stuff like that. And it still happens to find its way into everything we're using and eating and putting on our body and stuff. But, my king and I were talking, and if you don't make it, then you kind of are subject to whatever people feel like putting in it for whatever their reasons are. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But it is aluminum though, basically. It just, they shorted the word so that they could trick people.
Gotcha. Okay. So I was looking at it, I was like, it seems natural, but I don't know what I'm doing. So I was gonna wait.
Did you open it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would tell them that you were misled, and I would get my money back and get a natural one.
Okay. I'll see about doing that.
Y'all didn't tell me elderberry, black seed oil is so nasty.
But it's so good for you.
It's so nasty. Like, I took that thing straight. I filled up the spoon. I was excited to get it, been hearing about it, ready to try it. Then I was like, I'm gonna put a little honey on there, put some honey in. I just shoved it. I was like,
Is it worse than castor oil?
I can't remember. My mom used to give me castor oil, but I can't remember. To be honest, I was so young and dumb. I probably just took it.
Castor oil was terrible as a kid, and it was thick, and it tasted like, I don't even know how to explain. But
I feel like this stuff, something about it reminds me of motor oil. I don't know.
It tastes like something you're not supposed to be drinking.
Gross.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, a few little quick things. Let's see. This past Friday, girlfriend had her violin recital, but she's been practicing and learning, over the course of the past few months and whatnot. So they had their holiday recital, doing that and everything. She did her thing. So I was like, okay, go ahead, baby. All right, do your thing, do your thing. All right. Yeah, she learned the violin, so that's really cool. So big props, shout out to Olivia. Also, because I'm on my audiobook binge right now for whatever reason. I'm just like, I finished the other day, Black Privilege, Opportunity Comes to Those Who Created by Charlamagne the God. Oh my goodness. Yo, that is like a must read / listen for anybody. Like it's basically his autobiography, but he lays it out in lessons, and the things that he talks about and the things that he went through and how his perception on his situation was allowing him to go to the next level. Like any and everybody needs to hear this. Like,
yeah,
and it also
read it.
Yeah, and it gives you a lot of perspective on the process that a lot of these artists or people that are people didn't just get there just because they were who they were or whatever. There was like a process behind the scenes that happened to allow them to get to that position. You know what I mean? So it's a really dope read.
I've been hearing great things about this book.
Yeah, like if you get a chance to like pick it up or download it or whatever, like and listening wise, it's real quick. You can do it in one day if you just like do whatever, being busy and just listen straight through a whole day. You can knock it out in a day. But yeah, it's a lot. And it's Charlamagne. He's raw. So he just tells it like it is. Whatever happened, it was what it was. And it's like part of his chapters, letting your truth, how do you word it? Living your truth. Like he obviously does that. So you just get everything. And you're just like, okay, I respect it. You know what I'm saying? So I see that space. So trust me, if you hadn't looked at it, you have to look at it.
No. I was gonna say, so like the Obama book,
yeah,
I could listen to that and I'd be okay. But I'm sitting here in my head because I drift off. Like really bad. I'll listen to something. You might even give me a song, and I'm gonna listen to it, and like when the song's over, I'm like, shoot, what happened? Like I just drifted off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm wondering, if I listen to Charlemagne, like turn him on one morning and start working, would I drift off or would I be able to stay focused?
Okay.
I would say if you did drift off, he's going to say something that's going to bring you back. Like, hold on, what did you just say?
Left field.
Yeah, and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, hold on, let me back up to like a couple 30 seconds and see, like, wait, what? Like, he said, wait, what happened? I was doing what? Like, okay, yeah, it's it's a lot going on. Like if for any context, you know, he's from Moncks Corner, South Carolina, which is like on the coast, and you know,
in the low country.
Yeah, them low country boys, that is a whole nother world over there. Like it's
The low
like,
country.
like I don't mess with them like that. Like, you know, I respect them, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They still South Carolina brethren, but like that's a whole nother area. But spawning off of that book, because I'm now trying to go back to the books that he mentioned in that book, I'm now listening to The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene.
I heard that was good.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about that on Clubhouse. Like every day somebody brings that book up.
And what's crazy is because like I'm listening to it and I'm maybe at like law 7 or 9, somewhere around there. And a lot of things that they're telling me is that things that I subconsciously do, but didn't realize that, you know, in the principle of a law and how they give the examples of when it happened in history and the explanation behind it and everything like that. But it's like, okay, that's kind of neat, you know, trying to figure out how things work and, you know, all that. But yeah, that was a little bit more, I don't know, kind of, it's not monotone, but it's just, you know, it's just, you have to be interested in this book to really focus to listen to what he's saying, because most people that's like looking for like the or the action or whatever, they're just gonna be like, man, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? Like you really got to be in tune to what he's talking about. So, but it's a really dope read so far. It's just a long book too. It's not as long as Obama's, but it's still long. But yeah, so that's the highlights of my past week. So, ready again? Go ahead and get into this topic.
Yep.
All right. So for this week, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about ho 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 or no no no. Do you or do you not partake of Christmas, and why?
Yay.
And if you do, what are your reasons? Because I know there's people that do, and their reasons are like totally different from somebody else's reasons.
Yep.
No.
So I'll go first. I mean, I do. That's just what I was brought up doing. We've always celebrated it. Mainly, it's huge for me because it's a family thing. Because I'm huge on family, so I like to be around my family during the holidays and stuff like that. And we do spend a lot of time together because we were all raised together. Because we legitimately lived in a stone's throw of each other. Seriously, like we all live on this land that my mom's parents, my grandparents owned, and we all just, you know, are always around each other. So that's just a thing that I've always reflected back to.
Yeah. Any I guess, you know, like you said, you know, that's how y'all brought up doing it, but like, is it just because of the family for you, or?
I mean, yeah. I mean, the gift giving and stuff is fun, but I mean, that's just an added bonus in my eyes. That's just an added bonus because, like, you have the other holidays that we do celebrate or what have you, where we get together and it's the same thing. So we're still getting all together and having a good time and enjoying fellowship with each other. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Important.
Anybody want to go next?
I came up on Christmas. Like it kind of was just a thing. For like when we would go visit grandparents, family, people we hadn't seen in a long time. And then I think probably like after 15, like after I was on my own, it kind of just became a time to like buy stuff for godchildren and other people's children and get extra hours at work and do holiday events and stuff like that. And then I think probably later on, like becoming a woman and, taking time to think about like who I am and my practices, my culture, reasons why I do things, like actually, stepping out of autopilot for a second because, celebrating Christmas was kind of autopilot behavior for me in particular, just because it was my conditioning, to every time this time come around, it's time to go visit family, it's time to buy gifts, it's time to do this stuff. But I think now instead of celebrating the actual day, we just celebrate every day. And, with people having time off of work and school and stuff like that, we just take advantage of the opportunity to spend time together and, really just connect as one and, share with each other our thoughts um, on what the day is, whether it's just an opportunity to speak peace or if, you feel like you have to carry on basically a ritual, you know.
Right.
We know we're trying to teach the chakras. The Christmas trees are basically like a replica of the chakras, the energy centers in the body that act as a system to keep us in alignment. Which I feel like the Christmas tree in a way represents some sort of balance with the star at the top, just the same. So it's just a few different things. Like we try to celebrate what we need and who we are, and what we want. Instead of focusing too much on gifts and stuff like that, which the gifts are just different now. But I enjoy just spending the time. I think it's important. I think a lot of people are constricted to a holiday schedule as far as being available. So there are perks to it because, I think everybody deserves time with their family.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I haven't really celebrated since my dad passed. That's probably about a good time. That's 2008. Before that, yeah, we did. My parents' house was always the house, like where everybody came. It was always the big dinner house, even just on Sundays. If your birthday was like during that week, that Sunday, it was your whatever you wanted for dinner, whatever kind of cake you wanted, and it was about you. So once my dad passed, that changed. We tried to keep it going for a couple of years, and then you know how it goes. Your family just starts kind of scattering, and things change. So then I started doing my own thing, with just friends and people I consider family. Tried to make it keep going, and then I moved. And so I think once I moved, that also killed it again. Um, and then my mom passed 2 years, coming up on 2 years now. So it again, it just wiped it away again. Like that probably took the last layer that I had. I tried to do something last year. It was just like me, Javi, and a couple other people, but it still wasn't. I don't know. It might have still been me, like the inner me, but it wasn't the same. So I got frustrated and I was like, F that, I'm not doing that again. So this year I didn't do anything. Don't even have a tree. I haven't, I left my tree, this place that I lived. I literally left it. And then like, I literally just thought about it a couple weeks ago. It had everything from my childhood in there. All the ornaments and stuff I made my parents, but I was so angry at the time, and so I left that. So that sucks. So yeah, I don't know. And I don't know, I might come back, next year I might feel better and come back with the friends and family thing, again with my friends. But for this year, we're going to take a time out. It's just different. And it is strange. Christmas came kind of fast this year too. Just overall, just the holidays period, even with COVID. That's another reason I wouldn't have it, because I don't want nobody. I made a mistake and let someone come to my house. They were sick. I'm a little congested. You know what I'm saying? So like that was my warning. my red flag. So I don't want nobody in my house. I'm going back to that again.
Right.
Yeah, so with COVID, I think that makes it even harder. But maybe next year, I can figure out something. Because I just like being with people. I'm a people person. So I used to have like impromptu get-togethers all the time outside of holidays. And then when holidays came, I would make it even a bigger deal, especially for people like me, who lost your family. Like, I wanted to be that person to give them back the love. You know what I'm saying, during this time? Because that's really, to me, what holidays are about. Like Scoob said, just being with your family and just loving on one another. That's like a big thing. That can go a long way. Like, Scoob I think he's a great example. He talks about it all the time. Just how having that dynamic with your family, you know what I'm saying? It just does something to you, it gives you that extra, like, psh. So when you lose that, it's different. And then you have to build it with other people. And so then you're like extra cautious and stuff like that. So I just try to give that to people. I don't know. I got so much of my mom. It's the side note. My mom used to be like this. Like she would be the one going down the street. Oh, come on. Let me take you to the store. Let me help you. And I fuss at her, but I'm so much like her. It's funny. But yeah, so maybe next year we'll try it again and make our own family, and maybe we'll put up a tree. I don't know. And then Draco will probably take the tree down anyway.
Okay. I know for me, I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so in the growing up stage of my life, that was not a thing at all. Like they wouldn't gonna have it. So like I know on the one end, like especially like school and stuff, that was like one of the most pressure times of the year because you got all this stuff around you, people putting candy canes in your face, they doing gift swaps in school and stuff and everything, and you was gonna be in chorus or strings or something. You got the holiday concert coming up and everything, so it was just like I can't what I'm supposed to do. Those are interesting times, growing up. But their reason behind, why they don't, because for them, they say, Christmas is supposed to be centered around Jesus and everything. So what their beliefs is that at the time or December 25th, where they say, Jesus was born, they say that they don't believe that that was the time because when it said the shepherds were in the field at that time, they wouldn't have been in the field because it would have been wintertime and they would have been up, having them sheltered in place. So they feel that the time actually might have been around more October-ish versus actually December. So that's like one of the reasons why they say, okay, that probably don't time-wise, make sense. Then, when you go into the ones back then, in regards to like, paganism and things like that, or basically the word of paganism just means against God, these, practices and whatnot. They were saying that as Jesus being the Son of God, that they were also Son worshipers back then also. So instead of worshiping the Son of God, they were actually worshiping the Son, but they would attract the Christians into that worship, and they would, bring them into this Christmas that way. So it's another reason why they, they're like, nah, we don't want to do that. But when you go a little bit deeper into it, then you got Saturnalia and all the other stuff involved. Like right now, they're talking about Saturn and Jupiter, getting so close together as the days grow closer and stuff like that. And then you go a little deeper into, why is there Santa Claus? Like why is we bringing this saint into the picture and all these other little things, and it just kind of like it's like a big snowball effect. But overall, I don't, just because with that upbringing, to me, I just don't feel that there is the actual Christianity in it in the first place. So I don't really try to mess with it. But I do respect others that do, like my son and those that, decide to go ahead and do it. I'll try to get them something around that time so they still feel included. But, if someone did or didn't get me something, I'm okay. I don't really, fret or worry too much about it, whatever. But it's about respecting others while not trying to impose your beliefs on everybody. Because you got some people out there, it's like, no, don't do this, don't blah 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 blah. Like, oh,
Oh
chill, man,
man.
chill.
Oh man.
Like, like let people live, let people do what they do. You know what I mean? So that's just me on that subject in a nutshell. But we can go a little bit deeper into it.
No, that was really well said.
Yeah.
No, you're right about those people. Like lately, these last few years, I've noticed an increase of people like going off on Instagram and Facebook about people celebrating the pagan holidays and how you're crazy if you do it. You know what I mean? I was just like, I get it. Like everybody's so woke and aware, but at the same time, like let people live and let them do what they're gonna do. Like,
exactly.
and, I'm not saying one way or the other, but it's funny. I thought about this yesterday and I was like, who's to say all these woke books are accurate? You know what I'm saying? Like if we saying that the Bible isn't accurate, you know what I mean? Who went and said that these are,
Right.
Not saying I'm for or against either, but I'm just saying like, it's like they're so woke, they're pushing it. And it's like, you're almost as bad as pushing the pagan holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
leave people alone. Do what you do and be happy. Like,
right.
Everybody's where they're at in their journey too. Like you can't fast step like anything. So if you feel like you come into knowledge, that's cool, but that's what works for you. Like everybody else has to have their own experience. Because if you go into anything, like you're gonna get overwhelmed. Like things are sometimes gonna overwhelm you if that's not what you're used to.
Yeah, it's like people going on the internet and then they start finding this super duper rabbit hole they fall into, and then they start getting into conspiracy theories and all kinds of other stuff. And I read this on the internet, saw this YouTube post, and it's just like, whoa, man.
Oh yeah, you can get sucked in quick. It's happened to me, and I had to like just stop watching everything. Like what I was watching, it's interesting, and you get sucked in, but you just have to know how to stop yourself before you get way too deep in that rabbit hole. Because it's like, whoa, because you start finding out really, 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 really strange things you really didn't want to know. And it's just like, I wasn't ready for any of this. So like I find my filter and I'm just like, all right, that's it. Let's on to the next thing. Let's go watch something cool. Let's go watch somebody do wheelies on a 4-wheeler or something. Like,
you know what's crazy? Speaking of conspiracy theorists, do you know that they have a title for people who don't agree with vaccines? They're calling them anti-vaccination conspiracy theorists.
Oh, I thought that's a shorter term for it.
Well, that's what
like anti-vaxxers or something, or
I have no idea what they shorted it into, but I just thought it was super crazy to me that they automatically label you a conspiracy theorist for being knowledgeable about the history of the facts, the actual facts, like not just how you feel, but the facts.
Right. It's wild.
It's crazy.
Wild. It's really wild.
All right. Oh, little low. Hold on. All right. Because I didn't really have a whole bunch of things I was going to snowball faster than that. All right. So in regards to Santa, how y'all feel about Santa?
A tool. He's a tool to make people spend more money. I think that fantasies, ideas, the imagination, I feel like there's a lot of kidding you can do with children and a lot of coaxing that you can do, I guess, to manipulate their world. And I think someone somewhere along the line got the idea of maybe helping their child behave a little bit better by creating a figure that would, basically be the all-seeing outside of, your parents and your higher power if you choose to have one. Like, so someone along the line thought about money, right? selling a whole bunch of everything. And then someone along the line also needed, their child to basically behave for incentives. And I think that over time, the combination of the two just got really, really. Is that a stress ball? I've been trying to stay focused this whole time.
I'm sorry, he is on today. It's a shirt that he drags around the house, and he wants me to hold it so he can pull on it. So that's why you see me like jerking. Like he's strong as all get out. And he has a stupid ball he keeps bringing over here, and he keeps hitting me with it doing this. So then I grab it and just throw it like, go away. Then
I saw you throw something back earlier.
I'm sorry. He's just on one today, and I'm just trying to keep him quiet.
I thought I was tripping. I was like, did you just throw something? Because your face didn't look like you could just throw something.
This is all day. Like while I work, this is literally what I go through. I just be throwing stuff and then sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You just made me realize I wasn't tripping the first two times. I thought I saw something.
Well, in regards to that, there was a Saint Nicholas at one point in time, but how did this individual get to such this legendary status to be promoted across the world along with this holiday? You know what I mean? Like,
so who is he in your opinion, the Saint Nick that you referred to?
I gotta look back at the details, but I just remember that he was an actual saint named Nicholas, and I think the story went that in his village or neighborhood or whatever, he would get some gifts for the kids or whatnot, and it just somehow became this bigger than life story about him coming from the North Pole and having elves and giving gifts to the kids around the world and all this other stuff, whatever. Now, how I got from that little story to this big whatever it is now, I don't know the transition of that, but yeah, that's like the base of Santa Claus, aka Saint Nicholas or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
don't know. I never cared about Santa like that. I think I found out he was fake like first, second grade. So then after that, I was just like, what's the point? Taking a picture with him, I can't. I think I probably took Javi a couple of times, and he looked at him, and he was just like he was just never fascinated by stuff like that. So,
Mom, what is this?
Yeah, like he wasn't touching me. Like he's just always one of those kids. So it didn't work. The Easter Bunny is like, what is that? Like I'm good on him or it, whatever that is. So it's just, I don't know. Now, one thing, my mom was a stickler of anything that I got, whether it was a doll baby, Santa, whatever, it had to be black. She didn't want it to be white. She said that it had to be black, so I could identify myself. So I kind of picked that up if I did get any like Santa decorations or whatever, I kind of follow that. And I still do that to this day. Like with my god kids, if I buy them anything, it's a black doll or, whatever. So yeah, that's about it. I don't know. I just never cared about the whole Santa thing. His reindeer. And...
Well, we did that. We did it. Still do. It's just, I guess, when you get older, I guess it's fun. I mean, it's fun to me. You know what I'm saying? Just to see the excitement and everything, because I guess it's like they already, of course, get what they want. So, but it's just the excitement of seeing them happy over and over and over and over and over, and it just makes my heart feel so. Like, I guess that's the same thing my parents did. It made them feel the same way because we went through and did all of that too. So,
it's kind of jumping off of that real quick. So I got two things to say real quick. How would the world be, or how different would things be if our kids or whoever had to wait all the way to December to receive gifts instead of getting it all the way through the year. You know what I mean? Like,
I
think
get
about
what you're
that.
saying.
Like, how would that mentality be? You know what I mean? Because then people be like, man, I gotta make sure, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing good, this, that, third, you know, until this date comes so I can make sure I'm getting, you know, such thing or whatever. Like, you know, would that be a big factor in, you know, maybe how people act nowadays or not?
Uh,
I don't know.
I don't know because I mean, it's that's a rabbit hole. That's a big old
Yeah.
rabbit hole. It's
I
deep.
mean,
It's real deep because it's so many factors to that.
mm,
Because you gotta look at it this way. Because now I gotta wait this long to possibly get something I've been wanting for so long when I can just try to just steal it.
It's gonna be out of style.
okay,
I can
okay.
try to steal it. What?
Right.
Right.
Listen. In any situation, I think of I like the absolute worst thing that can happen. Like, like I just said, like,
Okay.
I could just steal that. I ain't gotta wait till December. I can have it now, or I can work extra hard and I can buy it myself. Forget December. You know what I'm saying? It could be a bad thing, and then it could be a good thing. It'll push people to be more motivated and make more money and do things for themselves on their own instead of waiting on somebody else to give it to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But now, in just the kid aspect, because they just can't go to work, you know, save their money up, so they're gonna have to wait.
It's gonna be horrible.
I
And
mean,
then it's gonna be out of style. Like they're gonna want whatever toy. It's not even gonna be the fad no more by the time that come around. And you know,
Yeah.
our styles and stuff change so much, and new stuff comes out so much. That would suck. I would feel bad. I remember when I was a kid, I was coming down to Georgia for the summer because I lived in Connecticut, and I wanted these jellies. And this is what I mean when I say it's gonna go out of style. I wanted some jellies so bad, and little sandals. Ooh, baby,
Oh yeah.
I knew how I was gonna look in them jellies, and I was in first grade. I'll never forget this. So we went in the store. I asked my mom. She was like, "No," and then we kept going. So then I wanted some shades to go with these jellies. So show her the shades. She's like, "No." So we kept going. So anyway, they decided to take the pair of shades out the store. Going back to Scoop's point, I'll just steal it. Okay. Let me tell you how far that got me. So my dumb self, we get a couple stores down the little plaza. I'm like, oh, look, so-and-so gave me these at school, but the tag was still on them.
Oh no.
So she was like, where you get them from? I'm like, the girl at school gave them to me. I promise you. Like, I lied my butt off. She tore my butt up in that store. She took me back to take those shades back, told me I was going to jail. But anyway, long story short, she had laid away all the jellies and the shades that I wanted. And she was like, I'm gonna get my money back and blah, blah, blah. And that was because me being like school, I could not wait to get them jellies and them shades. I had to go ahead and get my shades. Because I thought they was gonna be out of style. I was like, she playing. Like, I need these shades. Like, what's wrong with this lady?
But back to your point, back to my other point, working hard and just buying it. So we were gonna, because long story short, me and my parents got a new floor. I was helping him put his TV back up. TV fell off stand, broke it. He had just gotten that TV like a year or two ago, Father's Day. So we were like, oh, we just get him a new TV for Christmas.
He got one, didn't he?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it goes back to what I was saying. You work hard and you just buy it yourself. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not a wait time.
Yeah.
Because that was definitely what we were gonna do. It was like, yeah, we get him another smart TV, blah blah blah. Man, my mom called me 2 weeks later. You know your daddy done went and bought a TV, right?
He just couldn't wait.
Now, I also want to mention on the flip side, okay, so I can assess that we all here believe in a higher power. If I'm correct. Okay. Now, I think it was Charlemagne that brought this out in his book. He was saying that, you know, parents will, you know, promote Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, whatever the case may be, or whatever, in for holidays or mystical creatures and all this other stuff or whatever. But then, also talk to their kids about God at the same time. But then when they find out that these fictional things aren't real, then what's saying that they weren't lying about God? You know what I mean? Because he was saying, like, now you have this, part where, if some kids don't believe in God because, well, mama didn't, tell me about this, why should I believe about this? You know what I mean? How y'all feel about that?
I get what you're saying.
I mean, anything with children, especially at a young age, whenever you're giving them information, I feel like you should always source that information. It's just like citing your sources in class. You want to be sure you're giving them a foundation, a basis of understanding, because they're gonna carry that belief with them. If that's something that's instilled in them,
Right.
because that's shaping who they are. And that's where their opinions come from. That's where their feelings come from, their perspective. Like, you do have to be careful because it's very easy to confuse a child.
Mm-hmm.
It would be just as if you would bring them around somebody that, you're not sure if you're seriously dating, but you bring them around and the kid thinks it's okay to, like, get close to them and, share who they are with this individual, and then this individual go, and they possibly think like they've done something wrong, or, something is their fault, or, they're confused, they have questions. So I think you just have to be careful with anything with children, but especially explaining stuff to them, actually going over, the point of what you're saying and how you could easily get it across to them and how you're going to reiterate it over time. Just like things are going to change over time, their understanding's going to change, times change, information changes every day. You want to make sure that they feel certain of themselves regardless of what you tell them, what you share with them.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, that's true.
Now that's a really good point, but I guess that's where, like, if you believe in Jesus and all that, and if you go to church, I feel like that's where the you know what I'm saying, the
Reinforcement or
it's coming from.
Yeah.
And you're gonna continue to grow up, and church addresses the Santa Claus, the Easter bunnies. They do at some point, go ahead and clean that up to a point too. So there's extra reinforcement. So I think maybe that is where it'll come in. Of course, you should also be teaching it at home if that's what you believe. But I do think that, if they're in a foundation where they're getting that continued education, then that's what puts that line in there to reinforce it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because he was mentioning that in the book, and I was like, you know what? I just trying to envision, how many families or individuals went through that growing up. Like, you know what? My parents said X, Y, Z, but how do I know that this over here is true too? You know what I mean? Especially with so much going on in the world, and a lot of people, I guess, have a misplaced idea of what God is, and how he works with everything that's going on and everything. So I can understand how some people can become distant in that sense. But yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting take on that, because I didn't think of it in that sense, but it made a lot of sense. If you're telling me that this is real, but it's not real, but this is real, but how am I supposed to distinguish the difference if I can't see any of it?
Right.
One thing I will say too is, like, when we were younger, my pops, he made every point, he and my mother, to know that they paid for everything. Like, Christmas was being able to have lights on in the house, period. Because I remember one time when the lights went off, I was in the refrigerator and I had some bologna in my hand. I was probably like 6 years old. The lights went off. I had bologna in my hand. I dropped the bologna and I fell on the floor and I stayed there until I heard a car in the driveway because I didn't know what happened, but I just, for whatever reason, I could not forget dropping the bologna. But anyway, you know, he made sure like we didn't put praise outside of appreciating our parents first. And I
Right.
will say, I do think that there was some type of strategy in putting our faith in others outside of the family. Um, Especially, you know, Santa Claus apparently being a man. Um, you know, I do feel like our households have been attacked for a while. So, you know, you cut the head, the body dead, right? So the man is the head. And if you're taking away his power and you're taking away his praise, who are you giving it to? Another man. And who does that other man resemble? You know, and then so that also shapes your mind state as far as like who you expect to come through for you, you know what I mean, and understanding like who's in your corner and stuff like that. So that's something I thought about as I got older, because at the end of the day, you know, you get what you get, right? But it just depends on who's giving, you know. So it's something I think about from time to time.
Yeah, that's an awesome take on that. I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, that was deep.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Well, any other thoughts or ideas before we start to wrap it up about that time?
Yeah.
Okay, closing statements. Go.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't really have a closing statement other than don't push your beliefs and your rituals off on others. Let them do what they please, regardless of how you feel about it.
I think you can honestly say that, you know, you enjoy the holidays for your family and friends and the fellowship and, you know, the joy of look on your little girl's faces when they open
Yep.
up gifts, you know.
Yep. Exactly.
But you're muted.
Yeah. No, I think that was a good summary. I mean, stop Instagram and social media bullying people and just do you. If you don't believe it, good. Don't do you. And you know, if whoever else feels inclined to come and learn about all the great awakenings that you've learned, then they'll come. You know what I'm saying? But cyberbullying or whatever you're doing, all that, the rants that I just see, like, chill. Like, you look just as dumb to me, if not worse, you know, going on these rants and attacking people for what they believe. Like, stop. I think this, like, like I said, the last 2-3 years, it's been the most annoying thing to see on social media during holidays. It's like you already, when Thanksgiving comes around, you already know who's about to start ranting, you know,
Oh, yeah.
going off. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you don't even want to see that. Like, that's just it's annoying.
Right.
People force their opinions, beliefs, and feelings all the time now. It just, I think freedom of speech is on a whole nother level.
Facts.
Yep.
Well, I'll just say that, you know, as I said before, you know, in my choosing, you know, I don't partake in certain things, but at the same time, I don't want to impede or impose on my fellow brethren, friends, family, if they decide to do whatever they choose. So I have family and friends that are Christian, Buddhist, everything in between, and whatever they want to do around the holidays, that's okay with me. But, you know, like I said, you might not get a gift from me, though. You may or may not. I don't know. We'll see, you know, how the day played out, you know. But yeah. So I think that's pretty much it for that one. Before we wrap it up, we have our link up show this weekend. So, you know, I know by this time you are hearing or seeing this, you would have missed it. But I will say, I'm pretty sure I can say in past tense that we had an awesome show. Definitely follow the Link Up SC on Instagram for any updates and photos and all that good stuff. If you're not sure how to find that, which I thought it was pretty clear how I said it, you can go to my Instagram at DJ_SUPA_MAN, and I have it in the bio, so you can just click on that, as well as our podcast here. So everything can be found. You cannot not say you can't find it because it's on Instagram. It's right there. Just find it. Okay?
Yeah, I had it.
I'm gonna look up something real quick. I just wanted to mention real quick. So if y'all want to throw anything out there real quick, go right ahead.
And don't go broke over Christmas.
Oh my God, no.
Like this PS5 came out.
Wait till March.
Yeah, that's great. But if you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
You ain't got it.
Huh?
It's like $1,200, right?
It's
No.
something.
No.
I don't know. I just know if you ain't got it, you ain't got it.
I got
It's
it. I
okay.
got it for you. The digital version is $499.99. The disc version is $599.99. However, people are buying them and doubling the resale price on them. However, this guy right here, like he did with the PlayStation 4, is gonna wait until February and get me one when there will be abundance of them. And I got my PlayStation 4 in February, like I did, and I still have the same PlayStation. I didn't have to buy another one. I didn't burn it up. It's still sitting here,
and it still worked fine. Like
I still play it every day. The only issue I have with it, the eject button stopped working. It started hanging up, and I found something on YouTube. The guy was like, open it up and put a piece of electrical tape on it, and it's an option on the actual PlayStation to eject the games out. So that's the only thing I had to do to it at that particular point. It was this. I did that maybe last year, so I had it a long time. It was out of warranty, so opening it up wouldn't void the warranty at this point. So
easy fix.
Yeah.
I know if I get my hand on one, I'm reselling that mug, getting that double.
Yeah, I just hate to see when people go broke over stuff like that. It's like,
yeah, nah.
It's like you said, like, and that's one thing too. On Christmas, my mom used to wait till after Christmas, and she would just give me money, and then I would rack up on those clearance sales in between Christmas and New Year's, and then go back to school. I still got on new clothes, new shoes, just like everybody else. And my junk probably costs way less, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, people gotta learn to stop idolizing things and trying to fit in, and just do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Trust me. There's plenty of times I tell Javi, we ain't got it, we broke. Bye, we broke. And he had to deal with it. Like, what? You know what I'm saying?
But shoot, some of the most passionate people go to, the what do you call them? It's like thrift stores and stuff, put something together, and it's like, where you get that? And I'm gonna top my tag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I did want to give a quick shout out, because since this is our 8th episode, I'm surprised by how we've been received from near and far. So I just wanted to shout out a few places in regards to countries and territories. We got, of course, the U.S., our homeland, but we also got some listens from Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. So shout out to y'all folks out there.
Peace.
And then just want to give a breakdown to where everybody's at. So I'm gonna just give a shout out and I'm just keep naming places. So because it's a pretty long list. All right, so we have Malden, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Spartanburg, South Carolina, Anderson, South Carolina, Lake Stevens, Washington, Charlotte, North Carolina, San Antonio, Texas, Clemson, South Carolina, West Lake Stevens, Washington, Greenwood, South Carolina, Auckland, Brisbane, Queensland, Simpsonville, South Carolina, Suffolk, Virginia, San Jose, California, Gravesend, New York, Newark, New Jersey, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, West Lynchburg, Virginia, 8 Mile Plains, Queensland, Columbia, South Carolina, Cairns, Queensland, Ocala, Florida, Snellville, Georgia, Plainfield, Indiana, Toronto, Ontario, Cleveland, Texas, San Diego, California, Chicago, Illinois, Woodstock, Georgia, West Columbia, South Carolina, and Morven, North Carolina.
All right, Carolinas.
Computer voice.
You better come through, Carolinas. I didn't hear nothing else. I heard Carolina.
That's where it starts.
And then Greenville, South Carolina calls me.
Right. All right. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Anybody else got anything to say before we get out of here?
I'm trying to get to this show.
Bet.
I'm so excited.
All right, because I got a lot of work to do before we get there.
You and me both, brother.
All right. Well, shoot. I'm going to go ahead and close this thing out. You got to have a good night, day, whatever.
Oh,
you are listening.
Wait a minute. What's the next topic?
Oh, my bad. Yeah. All right. So we're going to come back after the new year. And basically, we're just going to catch up on everything we had going on between the holidays, New Year's, and the beginning of the next month. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to have plenty to talk about by then. So
yeah,
it's going to be a catch-up episode.
And for those of you that celebrate holidays, have a safe and happy holiday.
Yes.
From my family to yours.
From the Tough Talk Podcast family to y'all.
Yes. Be safe. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of crazy stuff happens through the holidays as well. New Year's, people shooting guns and carrying on. So just be safe and love on your family and friends and stay healthy, stay COVID free. And see y'all.
And also for those of you that may not be having the best time this holiday because of a loss of a loved one, reach out to somebody. Don't just go through all that by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So there are people out there that do care about you, whether it's other extended family, friends. There is somebody, to reach out to so you don't just feel alone during this time. All right. So
call me.
Your boy.
Just call me. I'm here. For real. If you want to reach me, if you need someone to talk to for real, you can call me at 470-236-9001. That's 470-236-9001.
The people in the back.
Yeah, I lost both my parents. So I'm here. Like, I get it. I understand. I'm in a support group on Facebook, Without Mom and Dad or something like that it's called. So if you need that extra love, if you're missing your parent this time of the year, just hit me up. I'll add you to that group. And I'm a phone call away.
There you go.
That's love.
Love right there.
Love.
Yeah.
All right. Then we go and close it out now.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see y'all next year.
Boom.
Peace, family.
No.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Tough Talk Podcast. That's at TUFF Talk Podcast.